Hi, you're with Jason at TVRC. Today we are in Western Northern Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, and I'm in the T6 transporter with a GoPro mounted to the window, and it looks like I'm going 100 miles an hour, but no, I have sped it up on our way into the Castle Hill off-road buggy track, and I guess this video is representative of how you feel as you turn off the main road into this road, which passes now through the front gate. Never really seen it closed. Don't know if they lock it at any time, but anyhow, through this beautifully wooded green area, we're pulling now into the car park, and as you can see, there's heaps of parking. It's ginormous. So yeah, come race day, a lot of people put their gazebos up around the track here, and yeah, there's more than enough room for everybody. So yeah, there's the driver's stand. We've got some storage areas there, and there's the track. And I'm going to pull up now in the transporter, park her up, and I'm going to jot on over to the track with a camera, and we're going to walk through the gate here. There's some signage up, as you can see. Pass through the gate, and today is a particularly hot day. It's just a typical Australian hot Western Sydney day, and anyway, making my way up the stairs here. Yes, it's all sped up, just want to get you to the action, and kudos to this club. They put in a wheelchair access ramp, which is fantastic, and this is what you look at. So this is the beautiful Castle Hill off-road buggy track, and it's just looking really good at the moment. Lots of beautiful green infield, and yeah, the track's looking great. So kudos to the club. They do an amazing job of catering to racers and vintage enthusiasts, and you know, they've never shied away from helping out folks who just want to turn up and run any kind of car, really. So they do run regular fortnightly meets, but you can pull up with some vintage cars, and they'll even be happy to accommodate you if there's enough people, and they can run a class for you. So anyhow, that's the rostrum, and we're heading down the ramp now, and there is a reason for turning up today, which is to run my vintage Shoemaker Storm truck, and on it is a GoPro Hero 10 camera. So anyhow, here we are today. I thought I'd set up the camera with 4K resolution and 120 frames per second, and this camera is fantastic. It's got a hyper stabilization mode, and I haven't tested it out on an RC car on a track before. So here we are. I thought I'd come on out here and yeah, drive this stadium truck. And what I will say to anybody is I've never actually driven a stadium truck on an RC track ever before. So this is my very first time, and forgive me if I hit some of the sides of the track here. It's, you know, it's dry, it's dusty, there's lots of divots and holes here and there, and it did unsettle the truck in a few places, but you know, like, I just push forward. Not complaining, the track's still great. It's just, you know, when they have race meets, some clubs will water the track, they'll blow the track off, they'll sweep it, whatever, you know, they'll get it ready. But this is just me turning up in a weekday, unannounced, and anyway, so I thought the stadium truck would be a great idea because it's got bigger tyres. But what I will say is it's running old school tyres, and they are a modern rubber compound, so they are a little bit softer, but it's still a old 90s tread pattern, which I'm sure is not the ultimate for competition in today's tracks and, you know, racing, whatever. But anyhow, the idea was to mount the camera on a vehicle which might have been able to soak up the bumps a bit better, and a stadium truck just seemed like it for me. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. So thanks to my buddy Richard, who helped me out with these tyres. I just love the sound of them scratching and very gnarly on the track surface. And yeah, so the idea of this video was to be able to show the viewers out there who might not be able to get to the track. They could be interstate, they could be from overseas, could be guys who have only really ever raced indoors, maybe on floorboards or something, or carpet. You know, in Australia we do have dirt tracks, and this is still one of them now. We've got a big triple jump set here which does have carpet on it, which holds the jump together really well, but that's about the only bit of carpet on the track. And what you will see is the truck doing its best to get around the track with me wheeling it. So yeah, I'm not no grandmaster, I can assure you, and I'm sure a bit more practice I can get better at it with some better tyres and maybe some better setup. But the idea was to get it out here and show people what actually it's like to drive on dirt. So anyhow, I did have some problems with the camera on the day, not with the camera itself, but the way that I had it mounted to the car. I did my best to create like a mount off the bumper which bolted it up nice and firmly, but the camera ultimately wanted to sort of end up facing down at the track. So I was trying to take it really easy around the track, try not to take it over jumps, and because every time it bounced too heavily or landed too heavily, the camera would just face down at the dirt. So I had to get up and down from the stand multiple times. I did a bit of experimentation today. I put my Hero Sessions 5, it's a tiny little camera, on the same mount, but you know what, it did exactly the same thing, and no matter how much I tightened it, as you can see, you're starting to almost look down now at the surface only. So ultimately I pulled it up out the front of the stand here again, which I jumped down many a times, and this was the best footage I could put together. So readjusted it, off we go again, and yeah, thought I'd just try and get some footage out to the people out there and see what Castle Hill dirt track's all about. And anyhow, for anyone who's thinking about it, you should get involved. They're a very accommodating bunch, so is the whole vintage community. I remember initially when we first started taking vintage cars to track, you almost felt like you were going to get laughed at, but they're just, everyone's just so enthusiastic about it now. All the big manufacturers have been doing re-releases, and it just keeps on growing, you know. People are now wanting to delve back into the heritage of it all, so you're finding modern racers now wanting to jump on board, and they're buying re-release cars or old vintage cars, and they're getting out there and wanting to have a go. So 13th of March we're having a 5-hour vintage enduro. So I did try the truck out today, plus I took my Ultima Pro XL down the club and gave it a run. But anyway, here we are, just about over. The camera's just about given up, it's facing down again. This is rug pull up. So hey, thanks for watching, you know, and to anyone who wants to leave us a like or comment, thanks again. Cheers.